So I thought my first i3 video was going to be a review video. It was going to be all glamorous with drone shots and all that kind of stuff. But it turns out the first video is actually going to be an emergency video about repair or replacement specifically for your 12-volt accessory battery. So the BMW i3 does have a 12-volt accessory battery, and it is crucial and needed to start the car. So if that goes out, then your car will not start. And AAA is not able to replace the battery or jump it, and you're not supposed to jump it on i3 anyway. So the reason why you're going to need to replace the 12-volt battery eventually, this is kind of a normal maintenance item every 3-ish years. For me, it's been about 1 year, and that's because I think that I connected a dash cam to it, which uses electricity when the car's not really on. And also I've been plugging accessories into the USB ports. So the 12-volt battery basically prematurely died on me. And so it discharged all the way such that I couldn't start the car. And I was charging the car with the main battery off the EVSE for probably 100 hours now. And it's still only at 12% of the battery. And the 12-volt battery isn't charged enough to start the car. The windows don't come down. The trunk doesn't even open. So we're going to go over some details today about how to remove the 12-volt accessory battery. There are some helpful videos online currently, but I wanted to talk a little bit more about the details of exactly how to do it, particularly for people who are new to this, who aren't necessarily mechanically inclined, who don't normally work on their cars. There's some things I want to include that I think are very important before you get started. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. So if your car doesn't have any battery, then this button here isn't going to do you any good in opening your hood. So what you're going to do is you're going to open up this tab here. You're going to pull that out, and then right here, there's a cable. You're going to yank this, and your hood will open manually. So when you open up your hood, your frunk is going to look like this. You're going to have one screw here, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So there's going to be 6 screws holding down this front tub. Once that's removed, go ahead and pull it out, stick it aside, and you're going to lift up this driver's side panel, and literally just put your finger here. It's held on by Velcro. Pull, and then there's these 2 tabs up here. They come out. Stick that somewhere. You may as well do the same thing from the other side. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to remove the cable connecting the car to the battery. And this is the high voltage battery, and it's not located there. It's actually located here. In 2014, this thing is orange. In 2016 and other years, it's green. And so just note that it's on the driver's side. It's completely opposite of where you may think it would be. So it's over here on the driver's side. In order to remove this cable, you're not actually going to pull this plug. You're going to make this black thing come up. And in order to do that, step 1 is this red tab here. This red tab, you're going to pull that up as high as you can to this position. And the second thing you're going to do is you're going to put a screwdriver right in that groove. And you're going to, a flathead screwdriver, you're going to pull it out. So basically this tab is what's preventing this black piece from coming up to the position that we see here. So you're going to take a small flathead screwdriver and you're going to pull this out gently as to not break this tab, obviously. And then this black part will slide right up. And what that does is it disconnects the connector between here and the wires down there. So now the only thing connecting your car is not the high voltage, but the positive and negative battery terminals. So what I found that's easiest is you're going to use a 10mm wrench, ratchet set, ideally, and you're going to but you're going to loosen this screw here. And what that does is it's going to release this clamp that is on your 12-volt battery. So you're going to do that first. And next thing you do is you would think you would remove the positive one, but you're not. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to look for this tube right here. See if I can focus on there. So this tube here connects to the back of the battery. We're going to show you that in just a second here. So I have it charging, and we're going to go over that in a moment. But that gray tube connects to this kind of T connector, and the gray tube is basically a hose. So you want to pull that out first, because the last thing you want to do is remove the positive terminal, yank the battery out, and then you either break this T connector, or you mess up the hose, or even worse, you break the hose from wherever it is connected to the car. So let's go back to the car now. So when this positive terminal is situated with the battery in place, it's going to be like that. And it's going to be so hard to get access to this screw, to this nut, in order to release the positive clamp. So that's the reason why you're going to remove the negative first, remove the hose, and then you're also going to be removing this bracket, which you've seen in other YouTube videos. And that's connected by basically two 10mm screws right there. So once you do that, your battery is loose, and you're going to remove this black tab, okay, that is normally connected to this metal tab. So it literally just pulls right out. So it's hard for me to show you with one hand while filming, but basically we're going to pull that out. So again, negative terminal, hose, black tab, and then, well, obviously the bracket too. And then once that battery is sitting there and it's only connected by this guy, you're going to kind of wiggle the battery such that you can lift the battery up off this lip. This is probably like a 1/4 inch lip. You're gonna lift it up a little bit, and you're gonna pull it towards you. And that way you can situate the battery so that you can get access to this. Because I can't find any other way where you can actually dig your hands in there with tools behind that tab and be able to remove it. So I found it helpful to move the battery in a position where you can access this. Then you loosen that, and don't remove it entirely, because the fewer things that you have laying around, the better. You just want to loosen it. You don't want to remove it, because you may lose it or whatnot, or it may drop into the engine bay. So you're just going to loosen it, and this thing literally slides right up and out. And so you just want to be careful of all these wires as you're removing the battery. There's not a lot of space in here, obviously. So once you do that, the battery is literally taken out, and then you're good to go. So what I did was I purchased this Schumacher battery charger and maintainer from Amazon for about 36 bucks. And I chose a 2 amp charger and maintainer because that'll match well with our 12 volt 20 amp hour battery. So that'll be a safe amperage for that size battery. And this product literally has no buttons, no switches, nothing. So you literally connect it with the alligator clamps, as I've done here. And then you're going to plug in the other end into a power outlet. And so I'm going to go over kind of the icons here. The icons here, I don't know if you can see with the light, but this is a sad face battery and it's red, which means the battery is not in good condition. And this orange light actually says on. So I'm assuming once the battery is done charging, then that red light will go away, and this light hopefully will be green, and it means it's ready to go. So I'll be checking on it momentarily. But in the meantime, it just sits here in my garage. So these are the tools that you'll need for the job. It's fairly simple. We're gonna have a small flathead screwdriver, and this again is to pull that tab out. You're gently gonna pull it just like this, so that this black part comes out. Okay, so we got that tool, which is the small flathead screwdriver. You're gonna need a light. You're gonna have a socket extender, and then this is a 10mm socket, and then a socket wrench. I happen to have an adapter. And the reason why you need this extender is because when this bracket is securing the battery, you're gonna need to reach it somehow. And so that's why this extender goes on there. So it's like that. And then when you're removing the screw from down here, this guy, then all you really need to do is use this socket just like that. So again, we have the socket extender, 10 millimeter socket wrench, adapter if you need it, a light, and a flathead screwdriver. And obviously you want to buy your charger ahead of time if you happen to need that. If you're replacing with a brand new one, then I guess you're not going to need that. Alright, so hopefully that video was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. Before I let you guys go, I wanted to leave you some information about some pricing I got from BMW for the battery. So the battery that I'm replacing was actually already replaced by BMW under warranty about a year ago. And they showed me the pricing, and it was a little bit over $500, and this was at BMW of Concord, California. When I called them recently, 2 days ago, I wanted to know the price of the battery on its own, because I did end up buying a battery online for about $177, but it takes a little over a week to get here. So I wanted to see if I could just go to BMW and pick one up. And so they priced me at $235 plus tax, and that is only if you give them your old battery. So if you buy a new battery without giving them your old battery, without a swap, then it's an extra $18. So $235 plus $18 plus tax. And then with BMWs, you do need to, well, you're supposed to register the battery. And what that does is it tells the car that it has a new battery and runs diagnostics or tracking or whatever. So there's debates on whether that's really necessary. It may not be, but that's something they're, quote unquote, supposed to do. And so I called them to find out how much that would cost. And I've heard on the forums that they cost anywhere from $80 to $100. So I was expecting that, and I was really surprised when they told me that it starts at $215. So $215 to press a few buttons to register the battery. So I found that kind of ridiculous, and so I was trying to look for other ways to get around that. And so on the forums, I did find that there's an app called BimmerLink, and that combined with a wireless OBD2 reader will allow you to register the battery on your own. So I haven't done that yet, so I don't have details on specifically how to navigate that app. But when I get the battery in, then I will be doing that at that time. So that's it. So I just want to tell you kind of about the pricing, little details on how to install the 12-volt battery. And if you have any questions, again, feel free to leave a comment below, and I'll get back to you, and hopefully I can help you out. All right, take care. Until next time.